Hi everyone, my name is Sebastian. I'm a partner here at Hi, and welcome to our seminar, Pricing in 10 Minutes. Today, I'd like to walk you through dynamic pricing for digital subscription models, show you a few rules, how to start, what are mistakes to avoid, and also a case study in the digital paid content sphere. Quick advertisement block. At Hi, we're helping companies in setting up pricing structures, pricing strategies, and successfully implementing them as well in order to achieve ambitious growth targets. We're working mainly for digital business models, such as media, as you will see today, all kind of digital subscription models, software, classifieds, marketplaces, e-commerce, everything that is digital in its core or can be sold digitally. Before we start talking about dynamic pricing, we have to talk about price differentiation because that's the backbone of dynamic pricing. Price differentiation means that you have a good or multiple similar goods that you sell to different customer groups at different prices. So if you don't differentiate, on the left-hand side, you basically have one product, you sell at one price, and you get a single rectangle on turnover. If you differentiate your products and most importantly your prices, you sell more because you can also cater customer segments with lower willingness to pay, and you can sell at larger prices for those who have a larger willingness to pay. And obviously you can still keep your normal subscription at the regular volume. So this way you turn this rectangle on the left-hand side to a turnover triangle, which is obviously more than before. That's the idea, and there are several examples for price differentiation. In the paid content sphere, you see a few examples here from Welt, Financial Times, and The Economist. They very often offer three packages, good, better, best packages with limited access, regular access, and maybe gold access, so that you can find your optimal product and pay according to your willingness to pay. Same thing for digital job ads that you can buy at Stepstone. If you're in a hurry in finding in good candidates, maybe you should buy Pro Ultimate on the left-hand side. If you are okay with the regular job ads, you take Pro Plus. And if you have maybe more time or less budget, then you go for the less expensive Pro version on the right-hand side. Of course, you can differentiate by target group. At the Pioneer, the regular subscription price is €25 per month. On the left-hand side, you see a recent offer for new customers. On the right-hand side, you see a special offer for students, which is only 10 instead of €25. You can differentiate by region. So for example, if you're a real estate agent in Munich, here in this A region, on a real estate platform, you may pay more than somebody who is working and living in Saxony, because the real estates in Munich, they are highly priced. The commission level of 6% for the realtor is usually non-negotiable, and the turnover to get it sold, the time to sell it is also significantly faster than, for example, in Saxony. So as a realtor, to make a living in Munich is usually easier than somewhere else. That's why also the prices for an online ad are more expensive than elsewhere. You can also differentiate your printed newspapers, like Bild in this case. Same example from Munich. You see on the right-hand side that the copy prices at the news booth are usually more expensive than in Eastern Germany. Usually, historically, it's been around 20 cents, which is according to the willingness to pay in the area, as well as the competitive prices in the area. You can also check on the left-hand side when you should gas up your car. You can see that the prices are usually highest in the morning and lowest in the evening. And also e-commerce companies are changing their prices every day. You can see a study from Idealo. You can see the upper bars, the dark blue bars, that people perceive that on Saturday prices are most expensive, but in reality it's Tuesday, the light blue bars. So this is an example that also online shops are changing prices basically every day. Also, Coca-Cola tried to differentiate prices depending on the temperature outside. Not for long, but at least it gives you an idea what, let's say, a creative means you can apply for price differentiation. Now that we've understood why and how we can differentiate, let's talk about dynamic pricing, because as the name says, now the dynamic component kicks in. Dynamic pricing means that you have all these factors that we just showed and are instantly tailoring a price to a certain consumer or customer. So depending on who comes at what time, what the weather is outside, what they would like to buy, you get a specific distinct price point. The probably most well-known application of dynamic pricing on revenue management is the airline industry, where usually your neighbor left and right paid a different price for the same airline ticket as you did, depending on when they booked, which browser they used, maybe how long they are staying at the destination. So there are different factors that are used for airline pricing. Dynamic pricing is not only a B2C case, but it's also applied in many B2B industries, logistics, especially the spot market, chemicals, commodities, freight, forwarding, and also B2B e-shops. So it's not only something you can only apply for B2C. Nevertheless, we are showing you now a B2C case study for dynamic pricing in the publishing industry for a digital subscription product. The important thing is when you talk or when you think about dynamic pricing, you must not necessarily think AI right from the start. But you can start here on the left-hand side with rule-based pricing rules for different segments or customers. Over time, you can enrich it with real-time data. And of course, if you've done that step, the next logical step is then a machine learning approach, which also tailors pricing to every single customer, usually. When you collect your data, that's probably the most complicated part and takes most time. You can use historical data, but very often it's biased. In our case, from a news portal, it depends very strongly on news cycles. So if something crazy happens, it drives up your number of new subscribers, but you can hardly understand that from your data. That's why A/B test, having different price points, for example, for different customer groups at the same time, works more natural and identifies solely what the price effect is. If you look what's driving your conversion rate, price is obviously one factor, but it can be the time of the day, it can be the browser the consumer is using, and it can also be the engagement. So how often did I read an article? How often did I see the paywall? How did I react on certain price points? And we can see here in this example that the conversion rate, even for high engagement customers, is significantly higher at lower price points. That's why for paid content, it helps a lot to try winning customers with lower price points and then later on moving them towards regular price points. For this case, we took all the data that drove conversion rates, like the browser type, the platform, the engagement, the interest profile, and the price, and calculated conversion probabilities for different prices. We clustered user types with similar probabilities and then assigned dynamically the right pricing towards them to, in the end, achieve the right goal, which is the eventual conversion. There are few sources of error that we find very often when implementing dynamic pricing. The one is many people believe they can start instantly, but actually data preparation is key. It usually takes a lot of time to prepare data and really to then start identifying what are the real drivers of, for example, the conversion rate. The more and more you go into AI-based pricing, it becomes a black box model because you are losing transparency on what is happening. So maybe you should coordinate the methodology right up front to understand first why something is happening, rule-based pricing, and later on let the algorithms do the work over time. There are more success factors, more sources of error. If you want to learn more, of course, get in touch. Happy to help you with setting up your dynamic pricing strategies. Feel free to drop me an email. Feel free to check out our podcasts at Pricing Friends. We have a lot of interesting guests who also spoke about dynamic pricing. And of course, follow us on any of the social media that you see here. There you are on the right hand side. Thank you so much, and I hope we speak soon.